YouTube, how are you guys doing? How is it going? Alright, there's my Cash App, Facebook. And YouTube, I know I keep forgetting to put the Cash App and the Amazon wish list on the comments when I'm done. I know. Okay, I do see the star comment pinned. Sometimes it's the star comment, sometimes it's the subscribe comment. But I see it, so your comment should come up. Give me one more moment, YouTube. Alright, sorry YouTube. Alrighty. Alright. So, now, today we are having, it's called Unstuffed Pepper Skillet. Unstuffed Pepper Skillet. Which means, you know, stuffed peppers. I love stuffed peppers. I'll do red stuffed peppers, yellow, orange. I won't do green because I don't like it. The only way I'll make a green one is if somebody, when I'm making it, if somebody's eating with me that requests the green one, I'll do it. But, you know how it's stuffed with ground beef, rice, and all the stuff you mix in the ground beef? Yeah. And then you bake it? Yes. But, you can also put it in a crock pot. I think I did that once. But this is unstuffed, which means the, there's got to be 3, bell peppers. Here they are. Red, yellow, orange. I, cut them up earlier this morning. And put them in a bag in the refrigerator so I don't have to worry about it. Okay? I've got my husband's phone to look at the recipe. And when I get to a point where I don't need it no more, I'll give it back to him because he hates being without it. But I'm going to read the ingredients and then we're going to get started. Okay. It's 1 pound of ground beef. 1 pound. Okay? Or ground turkey, it says. But I've got 2 pounds. Well, it's actually 2.25. So 2 pounds and 2 1/4. That's how it came. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Now this says optional if meat is lean. So if you really have, like if you have a 97.3, you might want to put a little bit of oil. But this one is I can't see. It was something up. It said on the thing, but oh, it's 85.15. 85.15. So I don't think we need any oil. But olive oil if your meat is really lean. Okay? Just a little bit. 1 small onion diced. I'm not going to measure it. I got a bunch in the bag. I'm just going to take a handful. Alright, 3 bell peppers, any colors, diced. I got that done. 3 cloves of garlic, minced. I've got the garlic in the jar. Okay? And 1 teaspoon is 1 clove of garlic, okay? Or you can just chop it up fresh. It's up to you. 1 cup of uncooked rice. White or jasmine works best. Okay, I got the rice. Okay? And it's going to be in 1 skillet, so we're not going to have to cook the rice separate. 2 cups of beef broth. Or chicken broth. I'm using beef broth, but it says 2 cups, but when I wrote the recipe down, and I just wrote the ingredients so I know what to buy at the store, I wrote down 2 pounds of ground beef, 2 cups of rice, so what I'm reading, I'm going to be doing different, okay? Because I'm doing 2 pounds of ground beef. I should have a little more bell peppers. It says 3 bell peppers. If I'm going to double the ground beef, I should have at least, well, if you double the peppers, it would be 6. But I should have had at least 4 or 5. I didn't think about that, but it's okay, it's fine. Same with the onions, fine. And the garlic. I may put a 4th clove of garlic, a 4th teaspoon of this garlic. but doesn't matter. Okay, and 2 cups of beef broth. Since I've got 2 pounds of ground beef, I'm going to put 4, which is this whole thing. Okay, it says beef or chicken, but I'm using beef because I got ground beef. But if you only have chicken, it's okay. 1 tablespoon. Wait a minute. Oh, 1 can of diced tomatoes. Okay, 1 can of diced tomatoes. Do not drain. Okay. 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Optional but recommended. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, Italian seasoning. Okay, smoked paprika. I've got Italian seasoning. It's almost gone, so I put that on my list for next time. And half a teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, and I've got that on my list too. I'm almost at onion powder. And parsley flakes, but this is for the end when you top it. Okay? Salt and pepper to taste, and the smoked paprika, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder. The smoked paprika and the Italian seasoning is 1 teaspoon, but I would probably do 2 because I'm doubling it. But it's going to be whatever. I'm just going to shake it on. Half a teaspoon of garlic and onion powder. You know, I'm going to double it all, but it's just going to the seasonings. I'm just going to shake to my liking. Okay, but I just wanted to tell you the measurements, and I'll repeat the measurements that are on here. The ones that I'm using is going to be a little more, but I'm going to repeat the ones on here as I use the ingredients. Okay. And it says optional red pepper flakes for heat. So you can, I do have some red pepper flakes, but I'm not going to use them this time. 1 to 1.5 cups of shredded mozzarella or cheddar. Optional. Okay, I have that in the refrigerator. I'll bring it out last. Okay. Now it says It says 1 can. I'm trying to find it. Oh, 1 can, 14 to 15 ounces of diced tomatoes. It just says diced tomatoes. But why in my ingredients, and I think it might have been in the video, it says fire roasted tomatoes. Fire roasted. But in the instructions, in the list of ingredients, it says diced tomatoes. Okay, and it says 1 pound, but since I'm doubling the ground beef, if I decide to use 2 cans, I'm going to use 1 diced tomatoes and 1 fire roasted, because I only bought 1 fire roasted. Okay, I forgot about doubling everything, but look, see, and I forget to look back at the recipe, because if I have the ingredient, I will check it off. Okay? I will check it off if I have the ingredient. If I don't have it, it won't be checked off, and then I'll write it down in the list of food that I'm buying, my food list. So I won't even go back and look at the thing. I'll just look at the list. But on the list, I should put how many, like if it's a can thing, I'll put how many cans to buy so I remember. Something like that, okay? Alright, so I will go back up and look at the ingredients and tell you. Alright, I'm going to start with the 1 pound of ground beef or ground turkey. Mine is ground beef, and like I told you before, I'm doubling everything, most everything. So it's going to be 2 pounds, okay? And it's ground beef, but you can use ground turkey. Okay? Alright. Let's see, anybody come on yet? Nope. No. Okay. All right. So, there was something else I was going to say to you guys. Oh, and for the tomato paste, instead of opening a small can and just using 1 or 2 tablespoons or whatever, and then the rest go to waste, I got this tube, so I can just put the lid on it and put it back. Okay, let's see. It's double concentrated tomato paste. It says refrigerate after opening. So once I open this, I got to put it in the refrigerator. Use within 20 days. So I got to use it within 20 days. Okay? And it says Best Buy 3/1/27. So it's good till March 1st of next year. So if I didn't open it at all, it'd still be good. 20 days after. So today is April 3rd. So 20 days from now would be the 23rd. So, yeah, okay. Okay, we are going to use shredded mozzarella or cheddar. I do have mozzarella, but I'll look at it when I'm done because sometimes I can tell if I think it would be better with a white cheese or a yellow cheese. Okay, I don't think I have cheddar, but I do have Monterey Jack and Colby. You know, they come together in a bag. So I have that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go with the instructions. We're going to brown the meat. Heat a large skillet over medium-high heat. Add ground beef and cook until browned, breaking up as it cooks. Drain excess grease if needed. Okay? So that's the first thing. So if you have really high lean meat, like 97.3, you might just add a little bit. You don't have to add a lot, but might add a little bit of olive oil or avocado oil or whatever you have. Okay? But mine is 85.15, so we'll be okay. Get this in here. All right. Let me wash my hands since I touched the meat a little bit. Always wash your hands after you touch meat. Even if you just touch the packaging, you should wash your hands. Okay? Get in between those fingers and go like this. Like you're scratching your palm, because soak this under your nail in case you get anything under your nails, any of the juice, meat, anything. Okay, in case, scrub the back of your hands, and I usually go like this on the wrist. Just like that, okay? Alright. I don't like to say too many cuss words, I try not to, but it is funny, the lady I watch, she says, wash your fucking hands. She says it aggressively. Y'all might know who I'm talking about, but she's cool. But anyways, alrighty. Alrighty, so nobody's on yet. That's okay. That's why sometimes I have to repeat stuff because when I say it at the beginning. Oh, and I want to say, if you come on, say hi, say hi. If you're watching the replay, comment #replay. #replay so I can see how many people watch it after I post it. And that goes both for Facebook and YouTube. Alright? And how is everybody doing? Comment below when you come on. How are you doing? Say hi and then comment, how are you doing today? And what are you having for dinner tonight? And maybe what's your weather in your area? Okay? But if I see somebody come on, I'll repeat all that a little bit, okay? Okay. So let's get started. Let's turn this on to medium high. It's on. Okay, and number 2, let's see. It says build the flavor. Add onion and bell peppers to the skillet. Saute for 3 or 4 minutes until slightly softened. Stir in garlic and cook 30 seconds. Now it says brown the meat. What I'm going to do to build the flavor, it says to add the onion and bell peppers to skillet. So once I get this broken up, I'm going to add the onion and bell peppers and let them cook with the meat. And then, after it's almost done, I'm going to stir in garlic. A lot of times it says stir in garlic and cook for 1 minute until it's fragrant. This one says 30 seconds. Some of them say 30 seconds, some of them say 1 minute. But 30 seconds to 1 minute or until it's fragrant, okay? You don't want to do it too much because you don't want to burn the garlic, okay? And then after that, we'll go to number 3, which is season and simmer. But I'll let you know what that says. Because I'll season it after I get all the grease out when it's done, because like I've said many times before, but I will say it again each and every time in case someone new comes on, or in case they didn't catch that one where I said it. The seasoning will get into the grease, and when you drain it out, it'll all come out it'll be in the grease, so it'll come out, and then your ground beef or whatever won't taste as seasoned as you seasoned it in the beginning. So it's best to season it after it's done. Okay, and after you get the grease out. Okay. Alrighty. So I'm not sure if it's frozen in the middle. I didn't feel it. Just in case, I'm going to use this. I've been using the brown spoon without this the last few times, but I'm going to use this. Oh, I can't push right through it. So yes, it is. It is a little frozen, not a lot. Because sometimes if it's a little more frozen than this, but not completely frozen, I will take it and put it on the cutting board, and I will cut it like this. All across, and then across this way. And it'll make little squares. And then it'll cook faster in the... That's when it's got some good amount of frozen in the middle. I mean, it's not completely frozen, but, you know, enough where I probably can't push this through it too easy. Like now I can. If I just give it a slight push, it goes through. Okay? But let me get this all broken up and started, and then I'll get the onions and bell peppers in here. Okay? So we just remember, the first one is about browning the meat and heating a large skillet over medium-high heat. Okay, add the ground beef, cook until brown, breaking it up as it cooks. Drain excess grease if needed. Now y'all, most of y'all know how to cook ground beef. And then it says build the flavor, add onion and bell peppers to the skillet, saute 3 to 4 minutes until slightly softened, stir in garlic, cook 30 seconds. But I don't know if they mean a separate pan. Let me see. No, it doesn't. So I will just, and it says cook it for 3 to 4 minutes, but I'm just going to put it in with this and cook it with this. This doesn't take long. Okay, and right when it's about to be done in another minute or so, I will put the garlic in. Okay? I'm just pounding the meat. To me, it sounds louder than it probably will to you. Things are getting better, but they still sound a little loud sometimes. Alright, done with this. Let me get all that mixed. Alrighty. Oh, excuse me, move, Jazzy. My dog's always getting underfoot. I turn around and step on her or almost trip over her because she don't want to move. Alrighty, so let's get this put in. Now it says 3 bell peppers. Now I'm supposed to be doubling it. So I told you about the ground beef or ground turkey. 1 teaspoon of olive oil if your meat is really lean. 1 small onion and 3 bell peppers, any colors, diced. And small onion diced. I'm just going to put about a handful of onions. I'm not going to double the onions. You can if you want, if you're doubling it. But it depends how much onions you like. Or you can just, it says a small onion, but you can, to your liking. Same with the bell peppers. But it says 3. So if I was going to double it, because I doubled the meat, it would be 6 bell peppers. But if you think about it, okay, not every little ingredient needs to be doubled, okay? Sometimes if you double the liquid, sometimes it's too much, sometimes it's not. Like here, I'm stirring in the bell peppers. It looks like plenty. If I would have put 6, because I doubled the ground beef, so I should double the bell peppers. So instead of 3, I should do 6. It probably would be way too many, because it looks like it's enough here. So if you want to if you're doing 2 pounds of ground beef, then, you know, you can stick to the 3, or you can just do 4, maybe 5, but you don't want, unless you like a whole lot of bell peppers, but doubling the bell peppers is not necessary if you're doubling it, okay? Alright, let's put some onions in there. Some of these in there. Okay. Alrighty. This is. Alright, wrap it back up and put it back in the refrigerator. Okay? Alrighty. Alright, let's start that. You know, I know if I had my choice, I'd definitely be using between 90-10 for ground beef, 90-10 and like 93-7. Because I don't want to go way too lean. But, like, when you make, like, okay, let's say you're making meatloaf. Okay? If you're making meatloaf, you should at least go either 85-15 or 80-20. You don't have to go lower than that because you don't want all the grease. But you don't want, like, to get 97-3 because it'll make your meatloaf too dry. Same with if you're making burgers from scratch. Don't get it too lean. The highest I would go for meatloaf and burgers would be 90-10. That would be the highest I'd go. Because you don't want dry burgers and dry meatloaf. Stuff like that, okay? Alright. And some of this stuff you may already know. But I just, when I see them online, like I don't add something or I add something extra. Like this says to add, well, it does not say it on the list here on the phone. It does not say it, but I have it written down because the guy said it in the video, because there's a video to this too. He said you can add jalapenos, and I saw him in the video. He did. He cut up some jalapenos, but he scraped out all the seeds. So this is Unstuffed Pepper Skillet. It's on my Facebook Cooks group. So if you're not a part of that, just go look for the group Facebook, spell it out, Cooks with an S. And it should be there. Okay? And my name is Elizabeth Gibbs, and you will see my name as admin. And there's 2 other admins, so there's 3 of us. You'll see Marty, Lee, and oh shoot, why did I forget the other one? The third one. But yeah. Okay? And it should be near the top because I commented dinner tonight. So it usually brings it back to the top. So yes. And this is by One Stop Chop. One Stop Chop. That's his name. It's a black guy, yes. And he is very good. He makes some good recipes. He does. I've got some of his stuff on Instagram saved for recipes and on here too. So One Stop Chop, if you want to follow him. Okay? And sometimes I'll try to tell you who made it, so in case you have a hard time finding it, you can just look up. Like if you just put in the search bar, One Stop Chop, all one word, then it'll just bring up all the recipes that I have posted in the group by him. Yeah. Because I had one guy, I forgot his name. I just bought his recipe book. He really doesn't put the name of his recipe. He tells you the name of the recipe near the end of the video. So it doesn't come up when I look it up. So I look it up with his name, and all his videos come up, and then I search just through his videos. So he always says, you knew it was coming, but you just didn't know when. So, okay. This is almost done. There is a little bit of red in here, but not much. So we're going to go ahead and put in the garlic. All right, remember it is, okay, like I said, 1 pound of ground beef, 1 teaspoon of olive oil if the meat is lean, 1 small onion diced, give or take depending how much you like, 3 bell peppers, more or less depending what you like, 3 garlic cloves minced, fresh, or you can use the jar. Okay? Now, it's 3 cloves, but I could double it to 6 since I doubled the meat, but I'm not going to. So since it says 3 and I doubled the meat, I'm going to go ahead and just put 4. That's it. I'm not going to double it all the way. So when I lift it up, I push it against the inside of the jar just to get some of the liquid out. So I got that. All right, that's done. Let's stir that in. I never used to do that. My son always goes to bring the smell up. Actually, when you bring your hands up like this, you can smell it more than if you just don't do nothing, just go. You can smell it. It smells good, but if you do this, somehow it makes it stronger and you can smell it better. I never really thought of that. I just watch my son do it when he comes to smell. I'm like, okay. I always just thought, okay, whatever. Okay. All right. Okay. So, we got all that done. That's brown the meat. Number 2, build the flavor. We did that with the onions and bell peppers and garlic. So number 3 is season and simmer. We're going to add the rice, diced tomatoes, tomato paste, broth, and all the seasonings. Stir well. Okay? We're going to add all that as soon as the meat is done and as soon as I drain out the ground beef. Now, it's not recommended to drain this in a strainer in your sink because it could mess up your drain. Whether or not you have garbage disposal or not, it can still mess up your drain. Okay? I used to do it all the time. And it never messed up my drain. Because what I did was I made sure my water was hot. I know this sink here, it gets, when you haven't used it for a while, it gets so hot that sometimes you got to keep pulling your hands out of the water or add a tiny bit of cold water to cool it down just a little bit so your hands can tolerate the water. It gets that hot. And I'll put it on that high all the way like that. And once I'm done straining it and I put the meat back in the pan, I'll rinse the strainer and I'll run that hot water down the drain to clean it out. Yes, and it usually works. I'm not saying do that, but I'm just saying that's what I do. But, or what I used to do. But now, if it's not too much, I will just take a paper towel and blot it out. Okay. So I might put 2 cups of rice since I doubled the meat. And I've done 2 cups of rice, so I know what it looks like, how much amount. Because I do want some leftovers, and I do, especially want some leftovers after my husband eats. He'll put some in a container and take to work because he works the night shift. He like starts at 7 and he'll work all night long. And his break is like around 12. Yeah, his break is around 12 midnight. So he likes to have something to eat. Normally, if it was me, which it wouldn't be me because I can't do nights, I just do. But if it was me, I probably would take some snacks and drinks. I don't know, I might take food, but I don't know. Because normally at midnight, when he's home, he really doesn't eat. Because he already ate. But that's because he already ate earlier in the evening, like 5 or 6 or 7, you know? But now he'll be eating probably around 5, 5:30 probably. And then midnight, yeah. So. Okay, let's see. Alright, let's get this. I just got a few here. I'm probably gonna... Let me go get another roll of paper towels. Y'all cut it out. I got another roll. They were barking because they were messing with each other, and now my older dog Brownie, she's was kind of growling under her breath because I guess something she saw outside, because she was trying to look out this kitchen window, which you can barely see out anyways, because I'll tell you why. I'll show you why you can't see out it. Because I have it like this. I have their food container and this dry food door thing open. Because, not Brownie, Jazzy, my younger dog, she's a little bit over a year old. This is what she has done so far. This is what she has done. You try to stop her. She even does it sometimes in the middle of the night or while we're still here, because we're not standing in the kitchen watching her constantly. See, YouTube? This is what she does. So now we put this here and this here, even during the day, especially when we're gone. But because during the day you're sitting there watching TV, and if my dog Jazzy is not in the living room with us, we're not going to get up and go in the bedroom or come in the kitchen and see if she's in here or there. You know, we're not going to constantly do that, like constantly follow her around the house. But as long as we have it like that, it won't be a bother. But I'll have to figure out how to fix it. I don't even know. I'll have to Google it or look it up on YouTube. But, you know, our lease doesn't end till the end of November. And this place has not been... They don't do what they're supposed to do, so we don't want to be here. So if we can get some other place, I'll fix it like the beginning of November or sometime, you know, closer to that time. Maybe in October. But I'll look it up and see. But I'll look it up now and see what we're going to need or what we have to do. Because if it's more complex, then I might want to start earlier. But then if I start earlier, I'll make sure it's, you know, covered like that. Okay? So, let's move this ground beef back. I push it back, and I kind of tilt the pan forward to get some of the there's a bunch of it. And over closer. Some more.
Jazzy.
This is 85.15. So
I got her, Mom.
what are you doing? My son is crazy. Picking up this heavy dog.
Whoa.
He's crazy. Jazzy, tell him put you down. She don't care though. Alright, let's see. We got most of it. Almost all of it. Okay? So now we're gonna bring it to a boil, and then once everything's in, then we'll, so I'll turn it back up from medium back up so it can boil faster, then back down. But for right now, I wanted to turn it down because I don't want to. Okay. So it says we're at the season and simmer. It says add the rice and I'll add the rice last. Diced tomatoes. It says for the diced tomatoes, it says 1 can of diced tomatoes, but the guy in the video said fire roasted. Okay, so I'm just saying that I watched the video and I didn't look at the list. I just looked at the video and wrote down from what he was putting in there. So if you're gonna double it, add 2 cans of diced tomatoes. And you can add 2 cans of diced tomatoes or 2 cans of fire roasted tomatoes or 1 of each, whatever you want to do. And if you're only doing regular 1 can, you can add fire roasted or regular diced tomatoes, whatever you want. And if you're doubling it, you don't have to add 2 cans. You can just add 1 can if you choose. It's all up to you. Okay? It's all up to you. Because if you're just doing 1 pound, there's no need to add 2 cans. It'll be way too many. But when you're doubling it, you can add 1 or 2 cans. And you can do the diced or the fire roasted or 1 of each, whatever you want to do. Okay? I'm just saying. Okay. So now I add the diced tomatoes. It says add rice first. It says add rice and then it goes in order, but I'm going to add the rice last. Alright, diced tomatoes, tomato paste. It said 1 tablespoon, so we're going to add 2 tablespoons. Okay? Alrighty, so this lid, it's got a, you probably can't see it. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a little point at the back of it. Use that to press down. And yeah, I'll rinse that out. But I'm just going to squeeze the thing and guesstimate. Alright, 1, about 2. Alright. So I can close this up. Just lightly put on your water and rinse it out. Because you got tomato paste in the top of the lid part when you poke it. Okay, and you're going to end up putting it in the refrigerator. It says refrigerate after opening. Okay, let's see if nobody has come on YouTube. Hi Doreen, how are you doing? How are you doing? Are you still at work? Usually some people will put all the ingredients in and then stir it, but I have a bad habit of stirring after each ingredient just because I do that. And plus I want to see how much, after putting things in, how much the diced tomatoes look like, and see if I want to put in a second can. But it will be regular diced tomatoes because I only bought 1 fire. Now if I was putting 2 in, normally I would put both as fire roasted because I like to do that. But and in any meal that calls for diced tomatoes, You can always add fire roasted diced tomatoes if you choose. If you want to, you know, oomph it up. It's not like hot. It's not like spicy, no. It's almost like when you put in smoked paprika instead of regular paprika. Just a little, you know. Okay? Tomato paste and the broth and all seasonings. Okay, before I put the broth in, I'm going to put the seasonings in. All right, now I'll tell you the measurements as I put the seasonings in, but I'm not going to measure. I'm just going to go like this. I'm not going to like put the since I doubled it, you would double the spices because you got more ground beef, but I'm just going to put it as I like, you know, to taste. I'm not going to measure. Because some people like to measure, some don't, okay? So here we go. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika and Italian seasoning, okay? So for me it would be 2 teaspoons, but I'm not going to measure like I said, okay? So, let's move the spoon. I'm just going to guesstimate. Okay? Oh, it's really going low, so I'm definitely going to have to buy this. Italian seasoning. Smoked paprika. And that's, according to this, that's a teaspoon. And I am guesstimating 2 teaspoons. Okay? Okay, and if it gets all stuck, just give it a pound. Break it up, okay? Like that. Now let's see. Onion powder and garlic powder is half a teaspoon. This, it comes out. When you squeeze it, it comes out in a puff. Because it's fine powder. I like the other one, not the one that's fine. The one is not so fine. But I found this at Sam's and I bought it and I didn't know it was going to be like this. So I'm going to finish it up. Or I have, if I find the other one the way I like it. Alright, let's get this in there. And I know who to give that to. My son's friend, he does a lot of cooking at home too. And he likes stuff like that. He would like that. So we'll see. Alright, let's see. Now salt and pepper. Usually I put salt and pepper first, but and it has, this is, and salt and pepper says to taste. So, and it has boiled, but that's just probably the juice from diced tomatoes. Because that's all I put in there that had liquid. And when it's done, you can taste it, see if it needs more of any spice. And if you have an idea of some spices you want to add your own, or you want to take some out that you don't like we don't like onion powder in our house, so we don't use it, and put something else, whatever you like. Okay? And if you don't have any tomatoes, no, if you don't have any, like let's say you don't have any onions, minced up onions, okay? Let's say you can't get any, you don't have any or whatever. Okay? If you've got, because I got it too, minced onion, they're like dried up little onions in a container. If you have that, you can use that. You can just leave it out, it doesn't matter. Okay? And then optional red pepper flakes for heat, if you'd like. Okay? But that's up to you. So the smoked paprika and Italian seasoning is 1 teaspoon. Garlic powder, onion powder is half a teaspoon. And salt and black pepper is to taste. Now everything I just did to taste because I just don't measure anymore. Alright, so that's the season and simmer, step 3. And now I'm going to add the broth and then the rice. Now so I'm going to double the broth since I'm going to double the rice and I've doubled the ground beef, so we're going to need more broth. So it says 2 cups. I'm putting 4 cups. 4 cups is this whole thing. If you want to put 2, if you double it but want to start out with 2 cups, That's all right. Even if you don't double it, you may need a little more than 2 cups. It depends, because you want to keep the rice covered. And you know why they said 2 cups? I pretty much figured out. 1 cup of rice, and you always double the water to rice ratio. So 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of broth. 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of rice. You know what I mean, right? Okay, so now let's get the rice in there. It was 1 cup, and I'm putting 2 cups. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Okay. And while it's cooking, I will put the stuff away. Okay. Alrighty. 1 full thing is 1 cup. Okay. It goes up to 3/4, but then there's like a 1/4 of a cup space between the last line and the tip top. So, see, without the rice in there, that's 3/4. So if you take that line up to the top, probably about another 1/4, you can tell. You get to tell things when you start cooking more. Yeah. Like at the beginning, I would measure everything, but not like anymore. Okay. This was in some rice, a container of rice that my husband's mom gave us. Like when we went to West Virginia, we moved back. We got an apartment. That was in 23. Yeah, she gave us a container that she had some leftover rice. She was trying to help us. So it had that little scoop in there. So, and I like that for rice. It's cool. So you can barely see the rice when you mix it in. Okay. Let's get this over here. I'm going to just throw this box away with the tomato paste, because I'm just going to put it in the refrigerator like that. Okay. I'll put the bone over here. When I come over here to look at the bone, I kind of come at it. Okay, so it says bring to a light boil, then reduce heat to low. Oh, I'm going to turn it back up a little bit so it can boil faster. Reduce heat to low. I'll put it on 4 like I always do for my rice. Cover and simmer 18 to 22 minutes until rice is tender and liquid is absorbed. Stir once halfway through. Now, normally I cook my rice on 15 minutes. Usually that does it. It's perfect. Once in a while there's still a little bit of too much liquid, so I'll just let it go for another minute or 2, and it's good. But this has other stuff in it, so that might affect that too. So, you know, when it gets around 15 minutes, I'll keep an eye on it. But it says to stir it halfway through, just one time halfway through. So if you do 18 minutes, which when something, as most of you do know, whether it's baking or cooking, when it says, like if it says 18 to 22 like this does, you want to start at 18 and then add some minutes if need be. When if a pizza says 26 to 30 minutes, you want to start at 26, you know, okay? Especially if you don't know, if it's something you don't know, like if you, like pizza, the pizza I get, DiGiorno Hawaiian pizza. I've cooked that so many times in this oven that I know that it takes the 26 it says. Like it says 26 to 28 and it's done at 26. I know that. So, or if you know that your oven is a little slow on cooking things and it takes 28 minutes, the first time you did it you had to leave it in for 28, then you know you can put it at 28 the next time if it's the exact same pizza. Now if it's still the same brand like DiGiorno, but it's like a 3-meat pizza instead of the Hawaiian, still start at the low because it could vary according to the kind of pizza. Not the brand I'm talking about, but I'm talking about like 3-meat Hawaiian, you know, like that. Okay? Get this, at least this rice out of my way for now. Okay. Alrighty, so now it says, once I bring it to a light boil, I'll reduce heat to low, cover and simmer 18 to 22 minutes until rice is tender and liquid is absorbed. So, you know, when 18 minutes is over, I'll check it ahead of that, just to be sure, because I usually cook my rice on 15, but this, like I said, this has other stuff in it. But at 18 minutes, I will definitely taste it to see if the rice tastes, if I can get some of the rice taste and see if it's tender. Okay, and just stir it halfway through. So if I'm doing 18, I'll stir it at 9 minutes. Okay. Cheesy finish. It says optional but clutch. I guess that means it's really good, but you don't have to do that. Sprinkle cheese on top. Cover again and let melt for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. So just leave it on really low. Cover it and let it go until it's melted. It says 2 to 3 minutes, but just watch it. Okay? And then it doesn't say on here, and it doesn't say on the list of ingredients, but in the video, he did say parsley if you want to, you know, garnish it. Any meal you can garnish with parsley or anything else. Like I've got freeze-dried chives. I got freeze-dried garlic too. So if you don't have garlic and you have like freeze-dried, you can use that if you need to. And I also have oregano, basil, so stuff like that. Okay, if you like. Okay, let's go like that. Okay. But parsley is my favorite for garnish. It just is. And there's some meals that don't go with parsley or don't go with basil or chives. You know, like there's some that you would mix in the meal, but there's only certain herbs that go right. See, I've had this for a little while. See, I've only used that much. I ain't used much. It's boiling, so we are going to turn it down to 4. Hold on, let me see something. I'll cover it. Yes, of course. So we're going to. All right, so I got the timer on for 18 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put stuff away, and then we can just have a chit chat. Let me. I know I have to keep moving the dog's container because their food container because it gets in the way. It's right. The window is right by the refrigerator, so it gets in the way of the refrigerator opening all the way. So I constantly keep moving it, but okay. Alrighty, guys. Let's see if anybody's come on. Hi, Sartank D5H. I hope I said your name correct. I'm just gonna call you Sartank. I am making unstuffed pepper skillet. Unstuffed pepper skillet. Unstuffed pepper skillet. Now, since this person that said, what am I making, is probably not on here no more because it says nobody's watching, and this was on YouTube. If I had the bar where I could make comments, I would probably comment the title, the title of the recipe, so they can get notification that there's a comment and see it. But Also, I don't know if you can see the most time when you see that I'm live or anybody's live, you should be able to see the title of whatever they put on there. So if you see the live, you should see the title. And the title of my lives, when it comes to the cooking, is the title of the recipe. So, there you go. Okay, that's good. What are you having for dinner? What's for dinner, Doreen? I know. When I used to work, I did not want to come home and cook. Especially when my kids were little. But I did because they had to eat. Like when I got with my husband, that's not the kid's dad, but when I got with my husband, that was about 2011. Yeah, like we would get off at, I think it was 3:30. Yeah, I think it was like 8 to 3:30. So it was like 7.5 hours. But it was actually 7 hours because they took that 30 minutes of our lunch from us. But anyways, we would go pick up, like when my middle-aged daughter, when she got to, well, no, she was the youngest. She's not the youngest anymore because I had one more after her, the fourth one, which not living with me right now. But anyways, my daughter, she when she was in middle school, we would pick her up because she was going to a middle school that wasn't in the district of where we lived. And she was able to go there because of some program she was in when she was in 6th grade. But when she was about to start 7th grade, she wasn't supposed to be going there because her grades didn't totally add up. They were good, but I guess they weren't good enough for them to stay in that program. So she was going to have to go to the school that her sister and brother were going to. And my oldest daughter was going to start high school, but her brother was still going to middle school. So she was going to have to go to that school, but we ended up moving to Texas, where we are now. So she didn't... She didn't go to either school anyways, but, so yeah. But when they, you know, she would stay after because she was doing soccer, so she wouldn't get out till about 5. So we sat in the car with our little one, who was, you know, after she was born all the way up till she was 2, we would sit in the car with her. But once she turned 2, there was only like a month left of school, and I don't know if soccer was going on then. But when we had to, we'd sit in the car with her. We let her out her car seat, and she would just... We had a minivan, so she would just roam around, and she would dance when we had music on. It was cute. But yeah, and we'd just get her at 5, and then we'd go home, and the other 2 would already have been home. So, like, my son was in 7th grade. My oldest daughter was in 8th grade. So they'd already be home, and I'd get home and be time for dinner. And I didn't have no time to be thinking, what am I going to make? So I had to think of that early in the morning before I left, or the night before, come up with something, you know? But, you know, sometimes I don't want to leave food out all day from like 5, 6 in the morning all the way till 5, 6 at night. That's 12 hours. So I don't remember how I did it, but it'd probably be best the day before. Like, probably like, all right, like if it's a Friday I'm cooking, Thursday morning before I leave for work, take out whatever I'm going to make Friday, put it in the refrigerator. And then when I get home Thursday after work, if it's not thawed out all the way, take it out, let it thaw in the sink, and just keep checking on it until I go to bed. And then once it's thawed out, put it in the refrigerator. I mean, it would probably, if I left it in the fridge after I got home Thursday, it would be in the refrigerator all night, and then all day again on Friday until I got home. So it would probably be thawed by then, but you know. But, just like you talk about doing crock pots, we always left at 6 or 7. We had to be at work at 8. So we would want to start heading to work around 7:15. And we'd have to drop the kids off at daycare first when they were all going to daycare. They were still all going when my littlest one was first born. So we'd want to probably get them there the latest 7 o'clock in the morning. So we have time to walk them in, say goodbye, leave, and And if we wanted to stop for something to drink or whatever, or back then I would smoke, so if I needed some cigarettes I could stop, but whatever. But so that means we would have to leave the house between no later than 6:30, but maybe 6:15, because we were in the same county as the daycare, but it was more in a town that was, well, just like here in San Antonio, you can drive 30 minutes and still be in San Antonio. So we were in a place called Manassas, and it was about, at first it was about 20 or 30 minutes, depending traffic, from the daycare. Because the daycare was, like, we'd stop them at the daycare, then we'd keep going north. So it was like we'd pass the area where the daycare was anyways. And eventually we did move to the area where the daycare was. It was called Woodbridge, Dale City. It wasn't right next to but it was closer. So it'd only take us like 10, maybe 15 minutes, if that. So, but once my kids got out of daycare, and the only one that was in there was the littlest one, because she was still like a toddler, a baby toddler, I had to trust that my kids would get up and get themselves onto the bus. Now, could I trust them? Not 100% completely, no. Because we just had some issues back in the day that was going on that made me not trust them. My daughter, I had to make sure she was awake before I left. Because if you didn't, she would fall back to sleep. If you just said wake up and she just opened her eyes a little bit and you left, in 5 minutes she could be back to sleep. So I had to make sure she was up and out of that bed. My son, he would get up and usually get on, but there was one time when he first started middle school that he didn't go to school. I didn't see him anywhere at home. I don't know why I wasn't at work that day or something. I don't know. I didn't see him at home. The school didn't see him there. Usually we'll get a call that he missed, but I don't know what happened, how I found out. But usually I won't get a call till the end of the day that he missed school. But, when they call by machine saying, your son Alvin so-and-so wasn't in school, or he missed periods, so-and-so, But, I couldn't find him anywhere at home. They couldn't find him at school, and we were all going crazy. I had called my mom. She came over. Nobody could find him. So, it was going to be very soon. We were about to call the police, the real police, not just the school security. Finally, we found him in the shed. Boy was in the shed. Oh boy, was in trouble. I forgot if I took him to school that day or what. So, but when we got in our other house, when we moved, and he was still in middle school, he was in 7th grade. He did fine. It was my oldest daughter that I was worried about. You know. But so
Ow.
alrighty. How's the weather there, Doreen? How's the weather?
It's hot.
No, I said there where she lives, not here.
Where does she live?
I don't know. She might have told me, I don't know.
It's hot there.
He's assuming. But so let's see. Let me look at the last part of this recipe so I can get my husband his phone back. You breathe heavy.
It's because I'm fat. What's in here? Oh, rice. Alright, bye.
Where you going?
Outside. Bye, Brownie.
So all we have to do when that's done and the rice is good is sprinkle the cheese on top, cover it for 2 or 3 minutes to get the cheese to melt, and that's it. And then you can add the parsley as your garnish at the
It
end.
started to rain.
So that's it. Is it? Oh,
A little bit. It's not coming down real hard yet,
we're
but
just getting little drops of rain. Yeah, we had rain chances for the next couple of days, but light rain, nothing major.
yeah, where are you going? Where are you going?
And it's still warm outside.
You get away?
So, alright guys, give me a second, I'm gonna go give this back. Here you go, I'm done. Done with my husband's phone. I have to use it to get the recipe because since I broke my computer and I haven't been able to get another one yet, I have to use my phone for YouTube, and my iPad I use for Facebook, which I always did use my iPad for Facebook, but I use my computer for YouTube. And when I used my computer, it had a space that I could comment, and I'd click on it, and I can write a comment, or I can write my Amazon wish list, Cash App, whatever I wanted to, and then it would pop up on my phone and iPad, because I did YouTube on my iPad once and Facebook on my phone, but either one, it doesn't show me a place where I can comment. And all these, I'll show you guys on Facebook. All these things right here, I've clicked on all of them to see what they each were. Some of them I already knew, like the arrows, they're turning the screen around, the microphone is mute myself, stuff like that. So I know that, but yeah, so if I want to put my Cash App or Amazon wish list onto YouTube, I'll have to do it afterwards, which every time I forget, because I close my phone off. I don't turn it off, I just close it, and I make the food on the plates or bowls, I go sit down and I start eating it, and then I forget, because I want to do it right away so I don't forget, which I'll have to recopy the Amazon wish list. Just go to my YouTube and go where it is, copy it, and then paste it, and then write out my Cash App. So people can see it for later, but they won't be able to see it during. Alright? So guys, I want you to share. If you can share it from YouTube, please do. If you can share it, I know you can share it from Facebook. Please share so people can see so people can see. Okay? And, you know, I'm going to share it to my second page so people can see it on there. And hopefully they'll see this and hear me say share. But if you're watching it here, you found my page or you're already following me. But please share, share, share so other people can see what I do. And if you're somebody who seeing this video from it being shared or popping up on your timeline, can you please share it as well? And follow me on this page. Follow me on this page, Elizabeth Gibbs. And if you found this from my page, Elizabeth's Life, please follow me there too, or follow me there, and on my main page if you don't mind. Just please share so people can see, okay? Because I need more followers. My followers are stalling. You know, it's staying where it is and it's not going anywhere. Occasionally I'll get 1 or 2 more followers, but hardly nothing. Because if you look at the numbers on my professional page, they're all going down. Like it'll say, net followers, arrow down, red, in the red, you know, and all the things. And I need it to go up and I need to get followers. And I want to get up there. 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. I want to just keep building. Okay? All right. And if you're watching this and you want to skip around, but try to watch as much of this as you can so I can get some watch time as well. I need that. All right? And comment something in the comments, you know, with a bunch of words. So it can get recognized. It can help me get paid on Facebook. You know, comment. What did you have for dinner tonight? Or the night that I made this, which is Friday, April 3rd. Or comment, how is your weather in your area? You know, or what kind of recipes do you like? Or if you have an idea for a recipe that you want to see me make, comment it. Or something like that, okay? And heart this. You know, give me some hearts. Instead of pushing the like button, press the love button so it'll be hearts. Because you get paid better if it's hearts. You know, heart this, comment, share, and that'll help me very much. And that's all free to do. I would love stars. Donate some stars. They're only 1 cent a star. If you possibly can. If you can donate to the Cash App, that's greatly appreciated as well. I appreciate everything you guys do for me, even shares. All right? Or the love and the comments. So that'll help me out too. I see a lot of comments. I see comments from you and loves, you know, hearts. I appreciate that too. The Cash App, the money goes towards, you know, anything that I need to help me better my content and shows appreciation for what I do, that you like what I do. And it'll also go towards food because food is part of my content creation. All right? And as far as you on YouTube, if you want to donate to the Cash App, you know, to help me to continue to do this, donate. It'll go towards the food or anything to help make my lives better. It would be greatly appreciated. The star thing, unless you come over and follow me on Facebook, you can't do on YouTube. And I guess not until I become more popular or bigger. Well, there's like, you can send money, or there's certain things you can do when you're a bigger content creator on YouTube. On the live, during the live, you know, there is something that says donate or something like that you can do. But that's, all right, we're going to turn this down to where it says low. Because some of the rice on the bottom is sticky. Because I continue to talk and forgot to turn this. Okay? And we're going to sprinkle the cheese. Alright, it says you can use mozzarella, cheddar, whatever. I'm going to do Colby Jack. But this Colby Jack, it's shredded Colby and Monterey Jack cheese. That's what Colby Jack is, those two mixed. Well, sorry, Jazzy, I told you to get under my feet. You're going to get stepped on. And you're going to make Mommy a little upset if I trip over you. I've almost tripped over her so many times. And stepping on her paws. Because she's always there. Like, behind me, and I don't know. I don't know that she's there. Like, okay, my son, I meant to say. My son's friend. He's lactose intolerant. So, if anybody's lactose intolerant and can't eat too much cheese or any cheese, you don't have to add any at the top. You can add less, just a little bit. Or you don't have to have any. You can just sprinkle some on the top of each bowl. Okay, when you make the bowls, you can just sprinkle a little bit on everybody's bowl, except for the one who can't have cheese. But, you know, that'll help so that... Get out of there, Jazzy. That'll help so, you know, you guys still get cheese. But the person with the lactose intolerant doesn't have to have their cheese. Because, well, my son's friend, he's lived with me several different times. I made a lot of cheese recipes with cheese. And sometimes he would just, occasionally he would just eat it. And other times he would make his own stuff and, Jazzy! And sometimes I would put cheese on half of it, not the other half. Or if I could, add the cheese to the bowls instead of the whole deep, pan, you know? So, sorry guys. I had moved the dog's food container so I can get in the refrigerator better. And I came over here and didn't put the dog's food container back, so it left part of it open, of the windowsill open because the door is still open, so it's blocking the other half. She started chewing on it. I caught her. That's why I yelled, Jazzy. Yeah, that's you. I'm talking to you. You gotta be a good girl. Yeah, you gotta be a good girl. You gotta be mama's good girl. Gotta be mama's good girl. Oh, I forgot to put the lid back on. Gotta put the lid back on. And it's 2 to 3 minutes, it says, but I'm not going to really time it. I'm just gonna look at it and see when the cheese is all melted good. And I've got it on low, right near the off button where it says low. You can turn it off probably, because it's so hot that the cheese will probably melt before it cools down. But, hey guys, stop. Alright, so, just to let you know, Monday's meal, yes, I did forget to post it all week. I kept saying something in my mind about it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I forgot. So I did post it this morning, if you saw it. But what happened was, when I went to go post the picture, I realized there wasn't a picture in there. I didn't take a picture of it. I was like, oh no, not again, because I did that for the tostadas. I forgot to take a picture. And then for this, I forgot to take a picture too. So the last 2 times I forgot to take a picture. I'm like, oh, bad me. So what I did was I went to the live video that I did, and at the end there was a part where I turned the camera on, the video around, and showed y'all the what it looked like. Well, when I did that, I screenshotted it, and then I edited it and just, you know how when I edit it, I can bring the picture up and cut off some stuff and bring it down and bring it in and bring it in. I did that just to cut off everything else that was below that in the video. So you just saw the pan. Alright, so that's how I got that picture. Okay, and I posted that this morning. So I'm definitely not going to forget. I was going to take a picture after I ended the live, because to take a picture now, I'd have to um, do it from my phone, because I like to do it because I do most stuff from my phone. I'd have to, go to the camera and take a picture. And while I'm doing that, it would pause YouTube. Or if I did it from my iPhone, it would pause Facebook. Because if you take a screenshot, like if I turn the camera around to show y'all and I take a screenshot, it's still going to show not only the food, it's going to show any comments that are showing. And at the top where it says live, one person watching, and stuff like that, it's going to show all that stuff. And on the other side where it shows your percentage of your battery, it's going to show all that. So I didn't want that to show. So I just do it on my phone, and YouTube just pauses for a moment. So, alrighty. Let's see what we got here. Wow, it's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it completely off. Okay. I am going to take the lid off. And I always put the lid back on after we serve ourselves, so it can stay warm, or, stuff out of it. So I will show you guys. There you go, Facebook. Look at that. If I did this, I could cut off the bottom, but the stuff on the top corners would still be there. And I can't just, bring in the corners. It would bring down the whole thing. But yeah, see that? And you could see. You know what makes this better? You could see the melting of the white cheese and yellow cheese. Like how the white cheese kind of intertwines with the yellow cheese. And I didn't put two separate cheeses. It's just Monterey Jack and Colby Jack are mixed together in one bag. That's how it comes. It's called Monterey Jack on the bag, but it includes Colby Jack. You see how that white kind of floats through the yellow? That's what makes it look good. Yeah. See? Hold on one second. I have guys. So I don't have to turn you guys around again. All right. So before I take a picture, I want. Okay. There we go. See, there's the parsley. That looks really good. You can see the bell peppers and the ground beef. And what's my favorite part about this is just how the white cheese intertwines with the yellow cheese. So there you go. So here you go, YouTube. Parsley on top as a garnish. And I love how the yellow, you probably heard me, but I will show you how that white cheese intertwines with the yellow cheese. Yeah, that's the best part of it. Yes. Okay. So, yes, I'll take a picture as soon as, well, I don't want to dig into it. Hold on. All right, guys, I got the picture. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and end this live the way I end all lives. Oh, let me take a bite first. Let me take a bite for you guys. Okay? It's all cheesy. Look at that. See? It's hot. Hot. Woo. That was hot. But it's 2 thumbs up. And it's good. Let me do my little, it's good dance. Okay? So, hopefully you like what you saw today. And, if you didn't come in at the beginning, you can always go back to the beginning just to get the ingredients. And remember, the ones I name at the beginning, when I name them all, that's just for regular. You can double it or whatever, but you don't have to double everything. Like I doubled the ground beef, I doubled the rice, and because I doubled the rice, I had to double the beef broth. But the bell peppers, the onions, you don't have to double. You can, but you don't have to, because that would be 2 small onions and 6 bell peppers. You can do like, it's 3 bell peppers just for single, but you can do like 4 bell peppers or 5, not the whole 6, because that would be, it was a good amount here, but it'd be a whole lot if you did 6. So, you know, there are certain things you don't have to double, but you might want to, since you did more ground beef, you might want to double all the seasonings. So if it's 1 teaspoon, you want to do 2, or you can just sprinkle it on at, you know, as you like. You know, you don't even have to measure really. Just sprinkle on to your liking. Yeah. So that you can do, but you're gonna have to double definitely the beef broth. So because you put more rice, you need more beef broth. And double the seasonings. And if you want to put in 2 cans of diced tomatoes, you can do that too. You can put both in as regular tomatoes, 1 fired, 1 regular, or both fire roasted tomatoes, whatever you want. Okay? I was going to put in a 2nd can, but I forgot to. So we got 1 can in here, but it's okay. All right? My son doesn't really like tomatoes too much anyway, so it won't bother him. But anyways, I'm going to end this live the way I end all lives. I appreciate you guys coming on. I appreciate you, Doreen. I appreciate you, Shar Tank. If I said your name right, or Shar Tank. I appreciate anybody who will come on later and watch the replay. I appreciate you too. Just remember to put hashtag replay and comment something to help me and give this a heart. You know, comment, how's the weather around your way? What did you have for dinner tonight? What kind of recipes would you like to see me make? Or if you have a specific recipe you want to see me make, stuff like that, all right? Or anything else you can think of, all right? Stay positive, work on yourself, work on your goals. Just keep improving yourself and just be who you are. And know that I love you guys, and I want you guys to have a wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. You know, comment below, what are you doing for the Easter weekend? What are you doing Sunday? Or is there something you're doing tomorrow for the Easter weekend? You know, are you going to church Sunday, or what are you cooking anything special for Sunday? Just let me know. All right? And I'll see you guys back here on Monday for another cooking video. And Monday we are making, it's called Summer Dip Dish. Okay? It's a summer dip. It's like a dip, but it's also a dish. You can make it into a regular dish and put it on a soft taco. Okay? I've made this before. I make it in a huge bowl. It doesn't include chicken, but I'm going to include chicken. If I can get some money, I want to get a pre-cooked whole chicken and use that. If not, I'll make some chicken breast and shred it up or cut it up. But yes, I add chicken into it so it'll have meat and make it a meal. Okay, but it doesn't really include it. Corn, bell peppers. Oh, I gotta get some more bell peppers. I totally forgot. So I gotta get some more bell peppers. Shredded cheese. Mayo. It's 1 cup of mayo, but since I have made it, I always put only half a cup of mayo, and I do half a cup of sour cream. And it tastes so good that way. Half a cup of mayo, half a cup of sour cream. But if you want to use a whole cup of mayo, that's fine too. pepper, black pepper, Fritos. I put Fritos or tortilla chips, but it's actually both. But I don't use the Fritos. Cilantro is optional if you want to mix it in. Fritos are mixed in at the end or when you're ready to eat it. Like if you're gonna put it in the refrigerator and not eat it for a couple of hours, don't put the Fritos in. You know, and once you do, you're gonna mix it all up. Mix the Fritos in there. They used, I forgot, it was some kind of flavored Fritos. But you're gonna mix it all up, or you can use plain Fritos. Mix it all up, and then use the tortilla chips to scoop it. Use the tortilla chips to scoop. But we just scoop it as is. I don't add Fritos in there because for one reason. My husband likes Fritos and he'd probably be fine with that, but I do not. I don't like Fritos, so I don't add them in. We just use tortilla chips to scoop it. I mean, me and my husband, one time I made it and we ate it within the whole day. We ate some and then we took a break and went back to it. Took a break and went back to it. And, you know, there was barely any left the next day. It was so good. Okay? Black beans are not called for in this, but I like to add them anyways because it makes it even better because it's a summer dip dish. So the corn, bell peppers, and stuff like that is summery colors like green, yellow, and the colors of the bell peppers, you know. But black is not a summer color, but I love black beans in there, so I'm going to add that too. And if you'd rather since you can add chicken in there, you can put it on a small soft tortilla and make it a soft taco. You can do that too. Or you can even add it on top of rice. I just thought of that. You can add it on top of rice if you like. That would be good as well. So there's many options with this. You don't just have to use it for a dip to scoop chips. Okay? But if you're going to make a taco out of it or put it on top of rice, maybe just leave out the Fritos, or you can still put them in there, but, you know, but I don't add them anyways because I don't like them. We just scoop with tortilla chips. So I'll see how everyone wants to do it. Alrighty? Yeah, I'll just have to buy some more bell peppers. And let's see, a whole chicken if I got a few dollars. And stuff like that. Alright? So that's just a heads up on what I'm having on Monday. Alright, so have a good weekend. Know that I love you guys. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a good evening. Bye, Facebook. Bye, YouTube.